these people are crazy. Look, between this episode I just watched, this light keep flashing up and down. I'm thinking this is probably my dog Diesel, since literally I just put him down yesterday. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm like, the show must go on, even though it hasn't been going on for I don't know how long. We're just gonna make it do what it do. Okay, so we here. Okay, hey guys, your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Made at First Sight season 18, episode 11, called "She Said He Fled." And that's exactly what happened. So, we're 26 days until decision day. David does a little video diary on positivity. Good for you. You positive, all right. Because you probably being positive with somebody else that's not Michelle. And then we have a mem, doing a video diary saying that she moved out because he moved out. She tried to call it Ketchy. He not answering. He don't want to talk to her. I'm trying to understand why you even try to reach out to homeboy. For what? What you reaching out to a Ketchy for? He left you high and dry. Called you an a-hole, said you're aggressive. Girl, what are we reaching out to a Ketchy for? Okay, so then we have Carla, her sister, come over with some Chinese food so they can sit, eat and drink some wine, talk, and she's talking about ways that she can connect more with Juan. Good for you for taking your marriage seriously, unlike other people like Akechi who goes to talk to Pastor Cal. Look, we're gonna just say this lie is Diesel, so I apologize. Anyway, so Akechi goes talk to Pastor Cal, or Pastor Cal calls Akechi to talk to him, rather, to see what's going on with the relationship. So Akechi says that, things are moving so quick, she wants to go to Pound Town, he's not ready for that. And, she's talking about like moving in together after decision day. And, it's just moving a little quick for him. But I'm just kind of like, sir, you're on Married at First Sight. So this is moving quick for you, but, getting married to someone that you never even met before is not quick. To the point where you try to apply for it in Houston, you didn't get chosen, you made a quick decision to move to freaking Chicago to be on this season. Like, sir, get the out of my face with your little excuses. That ain't making not a lick of sense. So then, he continues saying that he feels small and belittled by Imam. And, Pastor Cal, says that they need to communicate for resolution, even if they don't end up together, but some resolution needs to happen. No, it don't. So, no, I don't. After that, him moving out was the resolution. Her moving out was the resolution. They both moved out, so there was nothing else to be said. But, I understand for the reality show, for the drama, all the dramatics and stuff, you're going to have them come, whatever. But they don't need to. They really don't need to. But, if they want the closure, then cool. I mean, I guess the man wants some type of resolution since she keep hitting him up, even though he left her high and dry. But, that's neither here nor there, even though it's here nor there. Okay, so Akechi said he's open to dialogue. I'm sure you are. So then we move on to 25 days until decision day. Madison does a video diary saying that her and Alan went out on a date night to the bar to watch a game or whatever. Afterwards, when they get home, Alan, not intoxicated, but, he's been drinking, so, he's not sober. He says he's going to go to his house to go sleep. Madison didn't want him to go, said that's kind of like reckless, since he's been drinking to be driving to go all the way home. And, he was been stubborn, saying he's going to do it anyway, and he left and went home anyway. So she says they really haven't talked since then, so hopefully they can talk later, resolve stuff, figure it out. Moving on to David. He goes talk with Dr. Pepper for a little bit before Michelle comes, and Dr. Pepper tells him that, he's not really the issue, it's really Michelle. So then Michelle comes in, and she expresses that she feels like David is behind her and he's being immature and whatnot. Okay, what else is new? Like, the same BS, different episode. So she asks him, like, how long will it be till, like, he gets his own place, from owning his own place. And he said a year or two. Now, I don't care for Michelle, but at the same time, I'm looking at David like, wait, hold on. I thought you said, there was no rush really for you to get your own place, but if you wanted to, you could just do it. 1 or 2 years don't seem like something you could just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could just do it, that means you could get in something within like 6 months to a year, depending on if you're getting into a new development that's still under construction, or if you're getting something that's already been built. So, like, what are we talking about here? So, I kind of looked at you sideways, kind of like that, David, because, the other episodes you say even though it's been like 2 months since I watched the last, it's episode 10 and stuff. But I remember, I have a good memory. You said that even though you live with your peoples, it ain't nothing for you to move out and get your own place. So why the hell you saying 1 to 2 years for you to get your own place. No, no, no. It's 1 year or less. That's what you should have said. But she said okay, but she looked like she didn't even like the answer. And I don't really, I'm not gonna say I like or I don't like the answer, but I just don't like if you said something in the beginning and now you're saying something different. So but let other people tell it. That's recent. That's soon. Whatever y'all say. Whatever y'all say. So after that, Dr. Pepper encouraged them to talk more and less in an accusatory way. She geared that more towards Michelle, not David. Okay, cool, whatever. We move on to Madison, saying her and Alan still haven't talked since last night when he left the house, and she wants to clear the air. So I guess he picks her up to go where? I have no idea, but probably go talk to whichever expert they want to go talk to. And moral of the story, they don't hash it out because he's just like, well, I don't see the big deal. I only drove 15 minutes to go to my house. But she's like, 15 minutes is a long time. It's one thing if you're going down the block or, a couple of blocks, even though that's still, kind of dangerous. But 15 minutes, that's a far drive, especially if you're going on the highway and stuff. And, he's just like, he doesn't see the big deal. If he wants to go home, he's going to go home to get some good night's sleep, whatever the case may be. He's saying that, but I'm looking at him like, no, there's another reason. Like, it's not because you want to get good night's sleep. It's because, you're sober. You're not, well, not sober. I don't want to say inebriated, but you had a few drinks in, and, you realizing, even though we're kind of looking at you like, we seen this from, like, the first episode, but, you've seen it now, like, over 30 days in, which is, kind of concerning to me. Because we clocked it a couple hours in, but, it took you over a month to see it. Okay. But it's like, you're realizing she don't like you. She ain't attracted to you like that. So it's like, getting a little sleuzed up. It's truth serum. So you're looking at it like, you know what, I want to go lay in my own bed tonight by myself. I know my bed love me. I know my bed attracted me and stuff because it be hugging me in bed when I go to sleep. I get some good sleep in my bed and I'm not going to be sleeping with her. So I get it. I get it. You should have just been honest with her about that, which I guess you are going to say later on in the episode. But Madison, you should have told him, like, why drinking and driving is really a big deal for you. A lot of people, like, once again, communication, I don't understand. Like, you, obviously, it's triggering that he's driving while drinking. Can we express why that's triggering for you? Can we express, like, you've known people who got DUIs and you don't want him to show that concern? Not only, I mean, you're already showing concern because he's driving while drinking, but to express that why factor, would help a lot, Madison. Everybody, it would help a lot if you would just communicate. We ain't mind readers here, and ain't nobody trying to be no mind reader, because the way my mind be going and what my assumptions, it'd be going off the wall. You know what I'm saying? So it's just best if you just let me know instead of, anyway, better communication, Madison, on your end. And also, Alan, please don't drink and drive. Like, and you're driving on the highway, and I'm pretty sure you're probably not driving the speed limit in that vehicle. Like, you're going over the speed. Like, sir, it's just stay home. Just stay home, or get an Uber Lyft. If you really want to go home, you could afford that car and stuff. Probably all the maintenance and stuff, and oil changes. Sir, if it's whatever, you can afford a Lyft to go to your house and a Lyft to come back, Uber, Lyft, whatever the case may be. So if you really want to go home, you should have done that. So anywho, we then move on to Dr. Pia talking with Imam. She meets up at a coffee shop to talk, about how Akechi done ghosted her and whatnot. And, she wants to talk to him and continue the marriage. I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? But, that's her husband, she's still saying that's her man, her husband and whatnot, and it's a defense mechanism for him making excuses and shit. I don't care if Dr. P agree with her. Y'all making excuses for a grown-ass man who don't know how to verbally communicate what the problem is. Instead, he just acts, like a child and does little child tantrums, and y'all try to make it, no, ain't no excuse for a grown man acting the way he acted. He know what he doing. Okay, ain't no defense mechanism for shit. It's just him coming on the show to show out, to come and show out, so we can remember who Akechi is. That's all it is. That's really all it is. But let Dr. Pia and Mem tell it is a defense mechanism. Okay. So then after that, Dr. Pia says for her to be malleable to her husband's needs. All right, whatever. Sure. Golly, this life gonna be the death of me. I don't like that. Whatever. So then we move on to Camille and Thomas. They meet up with Dr. Pepper, talk about their, family background, specifically with their parents and whatnot. And, they both get emotional, talking about, their own issues and whatnot. And Dr. Pepper tells them to, write a letter to their younger selves during a difficult time and read it to each other. I'm looking at the episode. I'm like, this is episode 11, kind of early for the letters to themselves, ain't it? Okay, I guess we're doing things different this season. So then we move on to Carla and Juan. They go out to dinner and talk about, her business and her plan. She came out with a notebook and pen, so she was ready for Juan. She was prepared, asking questions, his advice and whatnot. So, kind of made Juan, look at her in a better light. And, he said, she could build an empire. And of course, Carla likes that because she's smiling all wide and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, good for y'all. Y'all trying to work on y'all relationship and whatever. Okay, move on to Camille and Thomas. They fold and close at the house, talking, seeing her, cry in front of him, showed her vulnerable side. So he wants to see more of that vulnerable side. I don't know if she said she's trying to work on it or not, but, I just breezed through their scene because I'm like, ain't really nothing, excuse me, woo, ain't nothing really going on with them. So I'm like, all right, like, okay. Moving on, we get to 24 days until decision day, and Alan does a video diary, reflection. What's the reflection, guys? He's realizing that his wife don't really like him like that, in an attractive manner. Yeah. Alan, I don't know where you been. I don't know what rock you been sleeping under. Clearly it wasn't your bed because, maybe that sleeping in your bed gave you the clarity you needed, maybe because you didn't have all that makeup powder and stuff, all over you and whatnot, or, in the air that was clouding your judgment. Now that you got night sleep at your own house without her around, like, you realize, like, she ain't feeling you in the way that you thought she was feeling you. Well, I don't know if you ever thought she was feeling you in that way, but, like, there's, like, nothing there. You're realizing there's nothing there. Good for you. Good. It's sad that it took you this long to realize, Alan. But I'm glad we're coming to the mutual agreement that, you could do better. That you can do that. Alan, you could do better. Okay. We move on then to Michelle and her friend. They go shopping for David with David because, he was all down clothes-wise. He need to change his wardrobe because, she ain't feeling the jorts. She ain't feeling the colorful tank tops. He looks like a whole tool shed out in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Looking like he going to freaking Sunfest. He look like he going to freaking Coachella. So, she not really feeling like that, So they give him suggestions and, we find out that, she attracted to Drake and Travis Kelce. And, she want him to dress like Drake and Travis Kelce, even though he looks nothing like Drake and Travis Kelce. She wants Drake and Travis Kelce to be together and have a baby, like, so that'll be the perfect man for her. David is not, no. Making him dress like them ain't gonna change shit, okay? Just because you may like the wardrobe better doesn't mean you're gonna like the man in the wardrobe. So it's still gonna be a lose-lose situation for David. But he all smiles saying, "Oh, I like the jean jacket, and stuff." I'm trying to understand why they put him in a freaking maroon blazer thing with the blue button-up shirt. No. The jean on jean, the denim on denim, whatever. I liked him in the navy blue sweatshirt. That was cute. That was nice. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with his outfit that he walked in with the black t-shirt and jeans and the shoes. Maybe he should have wore black shoes, but like, he said he liked it. He said he didn't like it for Michelle, but for him. You lying like a song. Sir. You're just trying to get on her good graces because he even said in a confessional, like, he realizes she's happy in her best element when they're doing things like when she gets her way. Duh, like, have we not realized this about Michelle yet? Like, sir, why y'all saying stuff now, 30-something days in, like, when we clocked it hours in, okay. All right, David, you like it? Whatever. You like it, I love it, I guess, David, but, I mean, whatever. He got the clothes, but he probably not even gonna wear it for you, Michelle. He probably gonna wear it for Madison. But we move on to Alan and Madison. Speaking of Madison, meeting with Dr. Pepper, and Alan feels or knows that she thinks that he's a good guy, but he doesn't feel that she's attracted to him. And you're correct, Alan. You're correct. And he asked her if there's anything attracted about him to her. She trips over her words. He's saying, that's a weird question to ask. And he's like, is it? please, you just don't want to answer the question. I don't understand why you don't. Just be real with him. If you're real with him, it will make things so much easier. If y'all was just honest and open, transparent, things would be chef's kiss, people. But no, y'all can't do that. I guess Dr. Pepper tried to get him. I didn't listen to this scene after that because I'm just like, ain't nothing to say. You can make all the suggestions you want, Dr. Pepper, but ain't really gonna help nothing. It ain't gonna do nothing. But she don't want to answer what we already know. Alan, you already know the answer. I guess she just wanted that clarity. But like, actions speak louder than words, so you really don't even need her words for real. Like, her actions proved it because you clocked it when you was doing a little video diary. Like, oh, she wants you to tone down your humor, wants you to change your attire and all that. So like, you already know she ain't feeling you like that, bro. She trying to change you just like Michelle trying to change David. You know what I'm saying? She trying to make you into David, Alan. And Michelle, like, that's what I'm saying. David and Madison should have been together, and Alan and Michelle should have been together. But, Alan ain't no Travis Kelce or Drake. So, unfortunately, Michelle can't get past the looks to appreciate a guy like Alan anyway. So, she don't need Alan. Alan needs, somebody better than both Madison and Michelle. I'm just saying, for the purposes of the people that's casted on this show for this season, it would have made more sense for them to match David and Madison and Alan and Michelle. Okay, cool. Next, we got Camille and Thomas reading their letters to each other and connecting on that. That's cute. Whatever, moving on. Carla and Juan go do Pilates and, sit down and talk. Juan telling her he supports her 100% because he can see the vision of her doing hair and also want to be a Pilates instructor and all that stuff. Wanting to, Gloria, the instructor that instructed them for their Pilates class tonight. She aspires to be her, so that's cool. Everything, whatever. Lastly, we get to Mem and Akechi meeting with Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia to talk. So, long story short, I do like the way that they identified that Akechi is more art bound and Mem is more science bound, and how they need to compromise instead of clashing, because their ways of communication is different and it's clashing, and they need to figure out how to unclash that. But it's just like, it's good observation, people, Dr. Pia, Pastor Cal. But it ain't gonna work because, they agree that they're gonna move back in together, and, Ikechi even saying that, he's not excited to move back in with the Mem. And I'm like, that's good that y'all trying to strive to make it seem like y'all gonna try to work things out, but we know it ain't gonna work out. Like, y'all doing all this, and we know it still ain't gonna work. Like, this is season 18 of Married at First Sight. We are not new to this. We are true to this. And we know through past experience the way things are going. Because you got Dr. Pia saying, she don't see it working if they don't move in together. It wasn't going to work whether they move in together or not, Dr. Pia. Come on now. Like, do not blend in with these experts. Okay, we actually like you because you keep it real. But you saying that just gave me like, oh, they told you to say that, Dr. Pia? Because that sounds like something one of these experts that ain't real and true would say. So it ain't gonna work. Akechi still ain't in it, but he gonna do it for the TV show. That's really the only purpose. He's doing it for the TV show, not for you, man. Not for the sake of possibly having working out this marriage, but for the TV show. And that's what the episode ends. Yeah, these people are in for a rude awakening, all of them, except for Akechi, because he wasn't really trying to do nothing anyway. But I'm about to go watch the next episode. Funniest part, present time right now. The season's over, bro. The Where They Are Now was like last week. Not even last week, because we're in the whole new week now, like almost 2 weeks ago. I just finished episode 11. By the time y'all get this, like, I will finish watching the whole season. Because I'm just gonna binge watch this, do my reviews, and post all my reviews in one day. Like I'm really just about to, yeah, y'all just about to get like 10, 12 reviews one day. When that day is, I don't know, but hopefully it's before the end of this month. And this month just started. So by the time you get this, you know what I'm talking, like, it's sad, bro. It's sad. But life be life, I'm trying to keep a happy face. My dog died yesterday. So, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, That's okay. Go watch the next review of episode 12. Hopefully I can make you laugh then so you can subscribe then, okay? Comment down below what you thought about this episode. Be easy, peace, lemon squeezy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.